but you can reduce the risk dramatically with the right, obviously, advice, but not pushing the limits too much. Those that accumulate a lot of property during the lower interest rate environments, they pushed it too hard, and sometimes it's the greed and the ego that wrecks people, and they're like, it's like, oh, I've got X many properties. That doesn't define who you are. I mean, you can have one property, but it could be,
That's a really good point.
It could be a really good property too. You sit there and go, I don't need any more. Like in order for me to hit my life goals, going back to what we were saying at the start, is you might just need $60,000, and then you're happy to go and be a surf instructor in different parts of the world and just keep traveling. Like Jared was a scuba diving instructor. Didn't get paid a lot of money.
Get $10 US a dive per person.
Yeah.
So. Actually, I think I did surf instructing as well, ran a surf school in Panama, and similar amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had a fantastic time, so it didn't feel like work, right?
Nah, it was so good.
Everyone's running around trying to retire really early, but we actually are going to, I'm just throwing it out there, but they're saying that the first person to live to 150 is alive today. Like, we as a species are extending our time frame.
Oh, this is so good as well. This is like really comes back to having time. What I'm thinking about now is I think if you build wealth, it's a really good vehicle for anti-aging, or not anti-aging, but slowing down your age. Because I think what kills most people, my belief is why we die, is stress, right? Our organs get outworked, broken down, too much stress over the years of digesting food, pumping blood, all these sorts of things. So our body just decays because of stress, right? Over time, breathing and all these things. And I think what helps our physiology be less stressed is like having time, having space, and having fun and having a laugh. And how often does that happen when you're working a 9 to 5? When you are worried about, I need to pay a mortgage payment, I need to pay for these kids' things, I need to pay for all these different things, and you probably get more value out of paying for some of the things than some of the, some are more valuable and worth having than not, but
paying for your kids' education.
Exactly, and seeing your kids develop and stuff is like a great ROI. The fulfillment you get from that is really good. But is the house that is a bit too big that you don't necessarily need worth it? Is the car that you're driving that you bought on finance worth it? And all these little things that stack up, then you've got this pressure and this weight on yourself. I actually said this last week. I think it was a good quote. We were at a mate's house, and the quote is, people will buy things they don't want. No, people will buy things with the money they don't have. Or people will buy things they don't need, with the money they don't have to impress the people that they don't like.
Or no.
Right?
Yeah.
So
let that sink in for a bit too.
Yeah, and I'll put it in a different light. People will buy things they don't need, i.e. big fancy car, house, clothes, heaps of things, right?
Yeah, how many
materialism. People will buy materialism with the money they don't have, so they don't need that stuff. And what they don't have is the money to purchase it, so they buy it on credit, cars, all this sort of stuff.
All they sacrifice
credit
it for,
card, yeah,
like
to impress the. Sorry, go on.
Oh, well, some people you get the, I've got these brand new shoes and they're $200 shoes, and it's like, well, why can't you buy your lunch today? Or why can't we're out here catching up for a feed? Why am I buying it for you? Like, I get paid next week. Can you just shout us? And you're like, oh, bro, like, darling, whichever one you want to be called. You're not doing the right order. So anyway, get back to you.
And so you've got buying those things you don't need with the money you don't have to impress the people that you don't like. Now, these can be people that can be friends, or what you may think of as friends, and they might be judgmental of like what you wear and who you hang out with and all these sorts of things. So are you doing it for them? And typically you're doing it for yourself because you don't want to be judged. That's one thing. That's another can of worms that we could talk about. But coming back to your point on the shoes thing, is like, I can afford a lot of pairs of shoes, and I've got a pair of shoes now that are old and I need a new pair of shoes. I just don't care. Like, I don't care for, like, I need a fancy new pair of shoes.
It's more so the effort to go to the shops to try about 40 different pairs of shoes on.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass for me.
Or, yeah, having to, find ones online, and, like, I'll just wear these until I'm like, yeah, okay, I literally can't wear them anymore. There's no more soles left. Like, but it's just coming back to what are your values, and that's a really big thing to think about, is see if you can build a set of values outside of your current environment, or that are different than what your current environment is, that are right for you on a core level, like that actually light you up. Like, these values light me up, that's worth chasing for, and that's what I think is worth investing for. Is, if your goal is to go to Florida for a month, to work online a little bit, but also spend time with your kids in Disneyland and all that sort of stuff, like, that is, like, worth investing for. Because you're going to take those experience, like, depending on what you believe spiritually, but you're going to take those experiences with you. You can't take these things and these materialist things with you.
Yeah, well, you have a bit of a think about it. So marketing companies spend billions of dollars every single year convincing you to buy their products that you don't need. That's kind of, I thought, what you're up against, and I just wanted to sort of lay that out for people to understand that, beat the system and focus on those things that are really important. It's going to help you understand your why for investing and get you there faster.